The original class stories for SWTOR have a problem, and this small change could fix them. I'm sure that if this feature is added, it will save players time while not subtracting anything from the game. In fact, I think it might do the opposite. For those of you who are new to the game, Star Wars: The Old Republic launched with 8 class stories, now called Origin Stories, spread across the original 11 planets. All of these. This is excluding flashpoints, operations, and post-launch expansions. The original class stories are one of SWTOR's biggest selling points, an MMO where you can make decisions that actually matter to you, the player. Even if design-wise they are a detriment to the game, but that's for another video. New players that come to SWTOR are given hundreds of hours of story content for free. It's truly one of the game's best assets. 8 well-crafted storylines to play through. Well, maybe 7 because the consular sucks. Every one of the stories is very distinct, each building out the world that the game exists in with detail. Out of all the MMOs I've played, Star Wars: The Old Republic's world building is probably one of the best. And there are moments in the game that are completely unforgettable. Like Darth Barriss removing his mask for the first time, getting that plot twist with Skavik in the Smuggler storyline, and my personal favorite, destroying Darth Thanaton as the Imperial Inquisitor, such a good moment. I recently had an idea for a lore video, but the characters are spread all over different origin stories and at different times. And just to try to record the footage I would need for the lore video, I would have to play through all of the stories all over again. That immediately infuriated me and took the wind out of my sails for the video, because I would have to dedicate hours to completing it, more than I normally would. Then I realized that this is a problem not just for content creators, but for the average player. Let's say you played through the Jedi Knight story and you want to relive one of the various great moments from that story. Well, you better saddle up and remake your character all over again and invest multiple hours into getting to that one spot that you really liked. Remember, there are 11 planets in the vanilla story. Let's say each planet takes an average of 2 hours to finish, leaving out auxiliary locations like space stations and ships and side quests. That would mean if I wanted to get footage of my Inquisitor absolutely smashing Darth Thanaton into the ground, I would have to replay 22 hours of story content for the last 3 minutes of that storyline. That's impractical, annoying, and most importantly, it doesn't respect my time or your time as other players. And that part is the most important. Now, how can they fix this problem? Well, what if I told you they already have? In 2015, BioWare released the Knights of the Fallen Empire expansion. With it, they rolled out a new way to tell stories. Every month, there were chapters that were released, meaning that the story was broken up into smaller but complete sections. Think of it like episodes of a TV show. To make this easier, they added a chapter selection menu so that you could replay sections that you've already completed. You can even do this at higher difficulties. Whether it was for the whole point of that long setup was to say that we need this feature applied in some shape or fashion to the rest of the origin stories. There is way too much content in the original 8 stories to be forced to play through it all over again to get a screenshot or see a cutscene or change one decision. The only problem is that the original 8 stories are quite a bit larger and they weren't designed in the same way to be broken up like the previous 2 expansions. So is there a way that we can still get this feature in the game? I believe there is. I think the best way to do it for the original 8 origin stories would be to split it up by planet. Think about it. Every time you start a planet and every time you finish a planet, you always end up back in the same location, your ship. This creates a natural stopping point in the story, a dip in the action before proceeding into the next story bit. This is a perfect location to put this feature. So imagine, for example, this. After completing your origin story, you return to your ship and then you use it to travel to, let's say, Tatooine. Once you arrive, there's a mission icon at the holo terminal. When you click on the holo terminal, it says, would you like to replay your Tatooine origin story? So from there, you're at the beginning of the planet's story. You can replay it at your leisure, make different decisions, take your screenshots, kill Thanaton over and over and over and over and over again. And think about this, they don't even have to rebalance the game to do this because level sync is already active everywhere you go. What's even better, this can even be used for the expansions, allowing you to replay Rise of the Hutt Cartel, the Oricon Dreadmaster storyline, the Shadow of Revan prelude, and the Shadow of Revan expansion in its entirety, without having to recreate a character, then go through the original 11 planets, and then going through Rise of the Hutt Cartel, and then going through the Shadow of Revan prelude. So I make all this to say that I think being able to go back and replay the original 8 origin stories and the expansions would do wonders for the game without having to go back and recreate your character to do it, allowing you to drop yourself into where you want in the origin stories and be able to enjoy that one section. And I think it'd be a great feature to get veteran players to come back to the game too. And in honesty, I think it would give this game a well-deserved win. Thanks for watching, guys. If you guys think that this feature would be great for the game and you would like it added to SWTOR, give the video a like and tell me what your favorite origin story is in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel for more SWTOR and gaming content. Remember, never trust a Hutt, always save the blue Twi'leks, R'torshimi, and may the Force serve you well.